Nichols Colonels versus Kentucky Wildcats. The lights come on at Rupp Arena as number 9. Kentucky opens its season against Nichols State, and the numbers tell you everything about the expectations. Kentucky carries a 97% projected edge, the weight of national ranking, and a home crowd ready to roar. Nichols enters from the Southland Conference, eager to prove itself against an SEC powerhouse. It's a matchup of muscle versus ambition. One team chasing March relevance, the other fighting for national respect. Kentucky's lineup is built for balance and power. The Wildcats averaged 85.3 points last season on 48.2% shooting, with a sharp 37.4% from three and 73.8% from the line. They dominated the glass with 38.5 rebounds per game and moved the ball well at 16.8 assists. Otega-Oweh led with 16.2 points and 1.6 steals, while Amari Williams added 8.5 boards and 1.2 blocks per game. Lamont Butler's 4.3 assists tied the backcourt together. This team thrives on speed, spacing, and defensive discipline. Nichols, by contrast, averaged 74 points, but shot just 42.8% overall and 34.6% from deep. Rob Brown III led the Colonels with 13.0 points per game, while Jamal West Jr. pulled down 6.5 rebounds and blocked 1.5 shots. Their offensive pace is scrappy, but their efficiency struggles against elite defenses. Nichols limps into this one after a 1-4 finish last year, dropping games to Lamar, Stephen F. Austin, and UIW. Kentucky, though, ended its season strong. 3 wins in its final 5, including tight contests against Illinois and Troy. The Wildcats showed late-season toughness, particularly in rebounding control and shot selection under pressure. That rhythm should carry over, with their veteran core poised and their freshmen eager to make an impression in front of one of college basketball's loudest home crowds. The individual duel centers on Otega-Oweh versus Rob Brown III. Oweh's blend of physical scoring, perimeter control, and two-way presence makes him Kentucky's tone setter. Brown, meanwhile, brings heart and mid-range rhythm, but faces a length mismatch every trip down the floor. Butler's control at point guard and Williams's interior defense give Kentucky multiple layers of advantage. They dictate tempo, force turnovers, and convert defense into offense with ruthless precision. Nichols guards, led by Trey English and Sincere Malone, must find ways to penetrate and collapse Kentucky's defense early, or the Wildcats' athleticism will smother any momentum. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is Kentucky winner. Strategically, this game's core battle is between Kentucky's spacing and Nichols' containment. The Wildcats' ball movement and transition offense will stretch Nichols' defense to its breaking point. Kentucky can hurt teams inside or out, drive and kick rhythm, corner threes, and second-chance buckets off relentless rebounding. If the Colonels can't control the boards or slow the tempo, they'll be buried by Kentucky's flow. Nichols must lean on perimeter shooting, offensive rebounding, and turnover pressure to stay within reach, but Kentucky's depth and defensive balance minimize those windows. Bench depth, size, and conditioning will decide how long Nichols can hang before fatigue sets in. Prediction: Kentucky 89, Nichols 61. The Wildcats control tempo, dominate the boards, and showcase early season sharpness. Nichols fights hard but faces too much firepower. Expect Kentucky's transition game to light up the scoreboard early and the bench to close confidently. The message from Lexington: this team is ready to make noise, right from opening night. And they're doing it with purpose. The offensive chemistry is evident, the defensive rotations are crisp, and the energy from the crowd should set an electric tone for the season ahead. Kentucky's depth looks poised to overwhelm opponents throughout all 4 quarters. UNC Greensboro Spartans versus Kansas State Wildcats. Kansas State opens its season under the bright lights of Bramlage Coliseum. favored heavily to defend home court against UNC Greensboro. The Wildcats hold a commanding 93.8% win probability, a reflection of their Big 12 firepower against a Southern Conference squad still defining its identity. Both teams start 0-0, but the stakes stretch beyond a season opener. For Kansas State, it's a tone setter for a rugged conference campaign. For UNC Greensboro, it's a chance to shock the national radar. Statistically, this is a clash of athletic tiers. Kansas State averaged 71.0 points per game last season, built on balance and discipline. The Wildcats shot 44.2% from the field, 32.6% from deep, and 69.6% from the line, while pulling down 34 rebounds and dishing 15.6 assists per game. They also flashed defensive bite, 7.5 steals and 3.6 blocks a night, anchored by Coleman Hawkins's 1.3 blocks and 1.8 steals per game. UNC Greensboro, meanwhile, posted 72.9 points per game with comparable shooting, 44.4% from the floor and 37.2% from beyond the arc, but struggled with turnovers at 9.3 per game and a lower rebounding presence. The Spartans' attack flowed through Kenyon Giles, the 15.3-point scorer who led them in points and steals, while Jalen Breath's 7.0 boards provided their lone interior edge. The defining battle? Kansas State's length and pace versus UNC Greensboro's perimeter shot-making, a strength versus strength duel that will dictate rhythm and tempo. Momentum leans purple. Kansas State closed last season winning 3 of its final 5, including solid showings against Arizona State and Colorado. Their offense found better rhythm, averaging nearly 65 points while tightening defensively to hold opponents under 70 in back-to-back wins. UNC Greensboro, on the other hand, stumbled late, losing 3 of 5 and allowing 100 points in one outing. The Spartans showed flashes of scoring depth but inconsistent defensive control, a concern entering a hostile road environment. The spotlight duel centers on Giles versus David N'Guessan. Giles, an assertive guard with a knack for attacking lanes and creating turnovers, shot 49.4% from the field and paced UNCG in scoring. N'Guessan, the Wildcats' forward anchor, averaged 13.3 points and 7.2 rebounds on 64.4% shooting, giving Kansas State a two-way cornerstone. Add in playmaker Doug McDaniel's 4.9 assists and Coleman Hawkins' defensive versatility, and Kansas State fields a multidimensional core. UNC Greensboro counters with Ronald Polite III, a steady 11.6-point, 3.7 assist contributor. But their collective efficiency will need to match Kansas State's physical execution. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is Kansas State winner. Expect Kansas State to dictate terms. Their rebounding dominance and half-court defense should suffocate UNCG's motion sets, forcing contested shots and transition opportunities. The Wildcats' assist flow and shot distribution, paired with defensive pressure from Hawkins and McDaniel, create the kind of complete tempo control that championship programs thrive on. For UNC Greensboro, second-chance points and outside shooting will be their only equalizer, but sustaining both for 40 minutes against this depth is a tall task. Prediction: Kansas State 78, UNC Greensboro 59. The Wildcats' balance and physicality overwhelm early, their defense setting the tone in a statement opening win. For Kansas State, it's a confident stride into the new season. For UNC Greensboro, a lesson in the pace of power conference basketball. Expect the Wildcats to showcase improved offensive spacing and steady guard play, with their front court imposing control on the glass. The depth and poise Kansas State displays should carry into tougher matchups ahead, marking this opener as more than just a win. It's a preview of a team built for sustained success. Robert Morris Colonials versus Iowa Hawkeyes. Iowa City sets the stage for a season opener that feels like a tone setter. The Hawkeyes, 0-0 and armed with a 91.5% win projection, welcome a Robert Morris squad eager to make noise out of the Horizon League. For Iowa, it's about launching another Big Ten campaign with authority. For the Colonials, it's a chance to shock a powerhouse and prove their rebuild has bite. The stage, Carver Hawkeye Arena. The stakes, rhythm, respect, and a head start on the 2025 to 2026 journey. Robert Morris comes off a 2024-25 season built on effort and structure. The Colonials averaged 76.9 points per game on 45.1% shooting, fueled by guard Cam Wood's 14.9 points and 5.2 assists per night. Alvaro Folgueras anchored the paint with 9.1 rebounds, while Amarian Dickerson added 13.3 points and 2.3 blocks, defining a balanced inside-out attack. Their 35% shooting from deep shows perimeter potential, but ball security remains a concern with 13 turnovers per contest. Iowa, by contrast, moved the ball fluidly last year, 82.5 points per game, 49% from the field, and nearly 19 assists per outing. They blend precision with pace, led by Owen Freeman's 16.7 points and Peyton Sandfort's all-around impact, 14.1 points, 6.0 rebounds, and 34% from three. The battle lines are clear. Iowa's offensive efficiency meets Robert Morris's scrappy resilience. Recent form favors the home team. The Hawkeyes closed last season, splitting their last 5, including wins over Ohio State and Nebraska, but tough losses to Illinois and Michigan State. Their offense stayed potent even in defeat, but defensive lapses allowed high-scoring games late. Robert Morris, meanwhile, ended strong, winning 4 of their final 5, highlighted by a gritty OT victory over Oakland. That late surge revealed improved spacing and clutch poise, momentum they'll need against a Big Ten front line. The spotlight duel centers on Cam Woods and Owen Freeman. Woods is a quick trigger guard who thrives on tempo, posting 14.9 points and 5.2 assists, despite modest shooting percentages. Freeman counters with efficiency, 63.8% from the field and 31% from deep, an inside scorer who dictates pace through strength and control. Their clash symbolizes this matchup: flair versus efficiency, speed versus size. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is Iowa winner. Tactically, Iowa's depth and spacing should command the night. The Hawkeyes' ball movement, anchored by Brock Harding's 5.3 assists, stretches defenses and fuels transition bursts. Robert Morris will counter with rebounding discipline and half-court execution, leaning on Folgueras to battle the boards. Yet Iowa's perimeter control and shooting rhythm, particularly from Peyton and Price Sandfort, are likely too consistent to crack. The Colonials' success hinges on limiting turnovers and contesting second-chance looks. Iowa's bench depth could also become a major factor, maintaining energy and tempo through rotation shifts. If their transition defense stays sharp, the Hawkeyes' offensive fluidity should gradually wear down the Colonials, setting an early season tone of pace, precision, and purpose. Prediction: Iowa 84, Robert Morris 68. The Hawkeyes' offensive flow, veteran core, and home court energy give them the decisive edge. Expect early resistance, but by the second half, Iowa's balance and tempo should overwhelm. The Big Ten contenders start strong, sending a clear message. The Hawkeyes are ready to roll. With their seasoned leadership and ability to dictate pace, Iowa looks poised to control every phase of the game. The combination of efficient perimeter shooting, confident ball handling, and consistent rebounding presence should cement a comfortable finish. This performance won't just mark a win, it'll signal the start of a campaign built on cohesion, experience, and relentless offensive identity. Texas Longhorns versus Duke Blue Devils. The stage is set in Charlotte as number 6. Duke tips off its season at home against Texas, a clash of power, pedigree, and rising stars. The Blue Devils enter as heavy favorites with nearly 80% win probability, a reflection of their balance, talent, and returning core. Texas, fresh off a competitive SEC campaign, comes in hungry to prove it can stand toe-to-toe with a national powerhouse. It's a season opener with statement potential. Duke aiming to flex early dominance. Texas determined to shock the rankings and ignite a new campaign with authority. Duke averaged 82.7 points last season, shooting 48.8% from the field, and 37.7% from deep, built on the all-around brilliance of Cooper Flagg. 19.2 points, 7.5 rebounds, 4.2 assists, and 1.4 blocks per game. Ken Knappel added 19.4 a night with elite efficiency, while Tyrese Proctor, 13.6 PPG, 3.4 APG, anchored the backcourt. The Blue Devils thrived on tempo and precision, ranking among the country's most balanced scoring units. Texas countered with 78.4 points per game on 46.2% shooting, driven by Tree Johnson's 19.9 points and Arthur Kaluma's 7.5 boards. The Longhorns leaned on physicality, rebounding, 35.7 per game, and transition power, though turnovers, 9.9, occasionally stalled momentum. The key matchup? Duke's offensive depth versus Texas's interior toughness, a test of finesse against force. Recent form tells contrasting stories. Duke closed last season scorching hot. 4 straight wins, including dominant showings over Arizona and Baylor. Texas stumbled late, dropping 3 of its last 5 despite flashes of explosiveness, including a double overtime thriller over Texas A&M. The Longhorns' inconsistency from beyond the arc and free throw line cost them close contests, while Duke's poise under pressure carried them through. All eyes turned to the duel between freshman phenom Cooper Flagg and Texas sharpshooter Trey Johnson. Both are dynamic scorers with pro-level composure, Flagg blending length, vision, and rim protection. Johnson wielding a smooth perimeter game and clutch shooting touch. Flagg's efficiency, 48.8% FG, 84.0% FT, gives Duke a stabilizing edge, while Johnson's volume scoring and relentless drive will dictate whether Texas can hang through the second half. The contrast in styles makes this matchup compelling. Flagg's all-around control and defensive timing against Johnson's fearless shot-making under pressure. Expect possessions to revolve around these two, with each run potentially decided by their individual brilliance. If Flagg imposes his two-way influence early, Duke's rhythm could flourish. If Johnson heats up, Texas might just turn the tide with momentum-swinging bursts. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is Duke winner in the breakdown. Duke's superior spacing, disciplined ball movement, and shot selection contrast sharply with Texas's grinded-out pace. Expect Duke to exploit mismatches on the perimeter while forcing Texas into half-court sets that test their shot creation. The Longhorns will need rebounding dominance and defensive discipline to slow the Blue Devils' transition attack. Secondary scoring from Kaluma and Jordan Pope must rise to match Duke's depth. The Blue Devils' interior balance and defensive rotations could also be pivotal as they look to turn stops into quick strike opportunities. If Duke maintains its perimeter rhythm and forces Texas into late clock possessions, momentum should tilt their way. Texas's resilience will keep things close early, but sustained execution favors Duke's polished structure and backcourt synergy. Prediction: Duke 84, Texas 72. The Blue Devils' offensive precision and home court rhythm prove too much. Texas competes with heart and rebounding grit, but Duke's balance and late-game poise deliver a confident opening night statement. Hawaii versus Oregon. Oregon opens its season at Matthew Knight Arena with all eyes on what looks like a statement night. The Ducks, favored by an overwhelming margin, return home to Eugene with a 93% win probability and a roster built to dominate. Hawaii, meanwhile, travels in as the underdog, a program eager to reset after a tough finish last year in the Big West. Both teams start 0-0, but their paths and expectations couldn't be more different. For Oregon, this is about setting the Big Ten tone early. For Hawaii, it's about proving they can hang with a national-caliber opponent on opening night. Last season's numbers tell a clear story. Oregon averaged 76.2 points per game while shooting 45.7% from the field and 34.0% from deep. They moved the ball with balance, 14.6 assists, 11.3 turnovers, and a defensive edge built around 7.2 steals and 3.8 blocks per night. Center Nate Biddle led the charge with 14.2 points, 7.6 rebounds, and 2.1 blocks, while guard TJ Bamba added 10.7 points and 3.0 assists, anchoring the perimeter. Around them, Brandon Angel and Keyswan Barthelemy give Oregon spacing and veteran poise, combining for nearly 20 points per night on efficient shooting. The Ducks' offense hums through quick rotations, backdoor cuts, and perimeter flow, while their defense thrives on switching and rim protection. Hawaii, by comparison, managed just 70.1 points per game on 44.9% shooting and 32.0% from three. Forward Gaius Namixa paced the Rainbow Warriors with 12.3 points per game, and center Tanner Christensen supplied 6.9 rebounds and 0.8 blocks. Guard Aaron Hunkin-Clater, the team's assist and steal leader, sets the tone with defensive pressure and energy, though the Warriors' 13.5 assists per game often come from methodical sets rather than fast breaks. Hawaii's attack leans on effort and motion. Oregon brings length, pace, and control. The matchup theme is unmistakable. Oregon's athleticism and efficiency versus Hawaii's grinded-out half-court rhythm. Recent form only reinforces the contrast. Hawaii dropped 4 of its last 5 games to close the 2024-25 campaign, struggling to find consistency in close contests and fading late under pressure. Oregon finished its stretch strong, winning 3 of its last 5, including a double overtime thriller over Washington that showed their poise, depth, and resilience. The Ducks enter confident, battle-tested, and retooled for a new conference grind. At the center of the clash is the duel between Nate Biddle and Gaius Namixa. Biddle, Oregon's 6'11" centerpiece, combines soft touch with rim protection, hitting over 50% from the floor and 81% from the stripe. Namixa, Hawaii's versatile forward, does his damage through spacing and mid-range precision, averaging nearly 13 points and 6 rebounds. If Biddle controls the paint, Oregon dictates tempo. If Namixa can pull him out and free lanes for slashing guards, Hawaii might find some early rhythm. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is Oregon winner. Oregon's depth looms large. TJ Bamba's control, Jackson Shelstad's shooting, and Kwame Evans Jr.'s rebounding give the Ducks a balanced, versatile attack. Their mix of size and speed could exploit Hawaii's thin rotation and backcourt mismatches. Expect Oregon to run off defensive boards and attack in transition, while Hawaii aims to slow things down with patient half-court sets. Oregon's bench could be the difference. Jaleel Phillips and Supreme Cook bring size and energy that can wear down smaller opponents. Hawaii's hope rests on perimeter shooting. If Marcus Green and Akira Jacobs get hot early, they can stay competitive. But a cold stretch would be costly against Oregon's pace and shooting depth. Prediction: Oregon 84, Hawaii 63. Oregon's discipline, balance, and front-court strength set the tone early. Their control on the glass and transition pace create separation by halftime. The Ducks open Big Ten play with conviction, a home statement that doubles as a warning to the rest of the conference.